Okay, okay. And when did you buy it, Nilay?
Just before dividend.
Understood. Okay.
Around.
Okay, okay. So, Girish, firstly coming to you, since he's looking for both long-term and short-term outlook on the counter. So, Sharda Motors, if I look at the valuations also, it's pretty decent when we compare to its peers. But do you see it as a good investment bet for long-term, especially in this space?
So basically, Sharda Motors, if we talk about the auto ancillaries and auto companies, they are still figuring out and figuring out the margin issues, as we already saw in the last 3 to 4 quarters itself. Again with the Sharda Motors also. In the term of fundamental, the companies was very strongly, as we saw that the very strong growth book in the profit margins also, as well as the profit of the approximately 40% of the CAGR in last 3 to 4 years time frame. So companies are having a very decent decent fundamentals, but for the longer period of time, obviously you have to hold your positions for at least a good hike into it. And if you are getting a chance of around 1300 to 1350 or 1400 levels, then you have to average your positions for that particular level and just hold for the 1.5 year time.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for that. And Ravi, now coming on the short-term outlook on the counter. So what are the key resistance and support levels that you're seeing on the charts currently of Sharda Motors?
Ma'am, first I can say that for any investor who want to buy any stocks, if dividend is in between that period, then you should avoid, because once company has decided the dividend, then that means stock will correct around the dividend level. So that is not a good strategy. Otherwise, if you are a long-term investor, then doesn't matter. But if you are short-term investor, then avoid the dividend specific strategy, because that not give the much profit into the shorter period. But I can say that this Sharda Motor, there is a very strong support around 1800 and 1780 levels, and the next resistance is around 1920 to 1950 levels. But I can say that follow our strategy, so you can take better stocks or better entry level.
Right. So avoid dividend specific strategy for especially when you want to invest for a shorter period of time is what Ravi is suggesting viewers, and it's a very key advice there. Now let's go across to a caller joining us from Thane. Hi Adarsh, good evening.
Ma'am, good evening ma'am.
Yes, how can I help you today?
Ma'am, I'm holding a stock of GMDC, ma'am, quantity 93 numbers.
Okay.
And I am averaging it from past 2 years at an average price of 348.36.
Right.
Ma'am, my time horizon is for 12 months, madam.
Sorry, for how long?
Ma'am, 12 months.
12
1
months.
year.
Okay, 1 year. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Should I continue, ma'am, or should I book profit?
Okay, okay. So Girish, coming to you, Gujarat Mineral Development Corporation, Mr. Adarsh holds 93 shares and he has averaged the price at 348. Currently, it's trading at 397. So what would your advice to him be? Should he stay invested in it for another 1 year?
So yes, can investor in this particular counter, as we just saw that the fundamentals looks good and the ROC and ROE is decent one in the term of fundamental terms. But obviously my suggestion is to just hold your positions with the strong stop loss of 325 levels. That is a fundamental trigger for me for this particular counter itself, and at least 1.5 year time frame, it would be seen just some around of 785 to 790 levels.
Okay, okay. And quickly, Ravi, if you could just tell us what are the charts suggesting for GMDC for somebody who wants to invest in this counter for shorter term? Do you advise firstly investing in this at these particular levels?
Ma'am, today we have seen market is in bullish trade zone, but we have seen also that lot of profit booking at higher levels. So that simple strategy that GMDC stock we have more we want more return, but is still stock is in a very sideways zone. So I can say that book the profit. If you want to switch, then Coal India is the best option for you. So you can book profit from here and go to the Coal India, because Coal India is right now is trading 392 is the right level to enter for the target of 1 year. You can achieve the target around 440 to 450 levels, and with good dividend.
Okay, so Coal India is what Ravi is suggesting instead for shorter term. And with that, we are joined by a caller from Mysuru. Hi, Raval. Good evening.
Ma'am?
Yes, Raval. Please go ahead with your query.
Ma'am, KPIT Technology in 500 quantity, average price 1,400.
Okay.
In loss in 47,000 loss, ma'am.
Yeah.
Seller book, ma'am. Technical analysis, ma'am. Today 6% down, ma'am.
Yeah.
3 months shorter, ma'am. Please, ma'am.
Absolutely. So since the stock saw quite a bit of beating today, and Ravi, Mr. Raval is also sitting on a loss of almost 47,000, and he is wanting for a shorter, term outlook. So what would your advice be? Should he be booking his losses at this particular time, or should he just stay patient with this investment and, narrow down his losses in the future? What are the charts suggesting?
See, Himakshi ma'am, I can say that don't be very sad at this point of time, because your voice is very dull. I can say that if you invested, there is a strategy, but don't panic. That very strong support at around 1250 levels. Put the stop loss and wait for the target. Definitely it will achieve the 1500 to 1600 level. So I think this is the time where you can accumulate your stock, or you can wait for some time, see the consolidation, but target would be the 1550 to 1600 level. So don't panic, sir. Just smile and wait for the your profit.
Okay. So Ravi is asking our caller to stay patient and not get jittery about the current market scenario that has happened and the stock that saw a beating. There will be a positive, momentum and outlook in the near future. We can see that. And with that, we are joined by a caller from Hyderabad. Hi, Dheeraj. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, how can I help you?
Sorry, ma'am. I would like to invest rupees 4 lakhs, ma'am.
Okay.
By tomorrow morning, actually.
Okay.
So I would like to invest these 4 lakhs in Tube Investment of India and Coal India, actually. Actually, I have been following the show. Sir, So sir have suggested it for 1 year term for Coal India. So, but I would like to know for a short term. If one more option is there, can I invest in IRIDA also, is my query, ma'am.
Okay, so 3 stocks, Coal India, Tube Investments and IRIDA. And you want to invest in one particular counter, or you can just,
two
distribute?
Counters, ma'am. Any 2 counters.
Okay.
For next 1 month, ma'am.
All right. And, Dheeraj, a little while back, we were discussing and, Ravi had suggested Coal India as his top picks for short term. So I think your question has been answered, but still I'd like to go to Ravi. Ravi, between Coal India, IRIDA and Tube Investment, what's your top pick there? 2 stocks that he wants to invest. He has a corpus of 4 lakh rupees and he wants to invest it tomorrow itself.
Ma'am, so I can say that only the Coal India is in your strong hand, so you can invest at current market price. Otherwise, if you talk about IRIDA and Tube Investment, then you should avoid for next 3 months. After 3 months, maybe there is an opportunity, but right now I don't think so. But I can suggest 2 more stocks. Number 1 is Coal India, second is BHEL, or you can choose Canara Bank. So both of 2 you can choose any 1 or 2. So they have a strong potential to give 12 to 15% return on year basis. So I can say that why as a Tube Investment, you are not promoter, so you just avoid trend is your friend, do investment where you can get more money.
Okay, but Girish, after this, I'd also like to come and, take your view on it. Although he wants to invest for 1 month, but still, what are your topics there and what's your suggestion to Mr. Dheeraj there? It's an interesting query, isn't it?
So I am also agree with the analyst that the Coal India is the better bet rather than both of the stocks. And again, the Tata Power is the second pick for me for the fundamental term for the longer period of time.
Okay, understood. Thank you so much for that. Now let's go across to a caller joining us from Hyderabad. Hi, Snigdha. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, how can I help you today, Snigdha?
So I have purchased 45 shares of L&T
Okay.
at 3620 in the
Yeah.
morning, today morning.
Yeah.
So I just want to hold it for the another 1 month short term. So what would be the levels?
Okay, and what was your thought process behind investing in Larsen and Toubro today?
Actually L&T is a good stock, so I've invested on it.
Okay, so all right. Ravi, again, a 1 month query. A lot of, 1 month queries coming on the show today for some weird reasons. But still, Snigdha is holding 45 shares of L&T. So are you seeing any positive momentum in the coming month, or what is your suggestion?
Ma'am, still stock is in strong hand, but I can say that put the stop loss of 3570 level. For the next target would be the 1 month. I can say that is 3680 to 3750 levels. But if you want to stay, then stay with this stop loss. Otherwise, if I'll give another option, there is a Ashok Leyland. They have enough potential to go 255. From the current level, put the stop loss of 5 rupees, that means 235. So you have a choice, but you can hold L&T.
Okay, so you can hold L&T, Snigdha. And with that, let's go across to a caller joining us from Bengaluru. Hi, Murli. Good evening.
Good evening, and thank you for taking my query.
It's a pleasure.
Wishes to other panelists and anchor also.
Thank you so much. Please go ahead, Mr. Murli.
Yeah. First of all, I should thank you the way I was seeing tomorrow also the coverage of the scripts in detail, which are even sometimes, not all big, even small caps you are covering very nicely in the morning session.
Yeah.
Your company.
Yeah.
Congratulations, and it's very useful to us.
Thank you so much. I will convey that to our producers and our anchors there, that, viewers like you are enjoying and, really looking forward to that show. And that is KYC. And Mr. Murli, please go ahead with your query.
I bought Force Motors, 50 shares.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah.
At a rate of 13,952.
Okay.
And while buying, I gone through the balance sheet last 5 years profit growth. And I also compare with Tata Motors and all.
Yeah.
And this is the result. All the parameters, it is also as good as others.
Yeah.
Except there's a domestic focus unless Tata Motors. So I thought the way in which it has grown the last 5 years, from negative profit to 100%, 120% annual CAGR. I thought I can hold it for at least another 2 years to do its performance. And a very huge book value also.
Yeah.
Compared to the small equity.
Yeah.
So what is your view from a 2-year point of view?
Okay.
And today it has reached the 52-week high. So how is technically also how it looks good, because consistently keeping at top and higher bottom.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Mr. Murli. I'll get your query answered. And so, Mr. Girish, coming to you on this, talking about this auto space, and if we talk about Force Motors in particular, it was down in trade today, although 4%, but still the stock, fundamentally the performance has been pretty decent there. But for somebody like Mr. Murli, who has invested in this counter, hoping that it's gonna be a positive for the long term. So is he moving in the right direction in terms of investment?
So, yes, thank you, Moliji, for getting such detailed analysis of Force Motors. As we understand that these type of investors are very, very low. That when the investors are just read all the books and all the figures out for the each and every stock. So now about the company, Force Motors look very strongly, almost a debt-free companies, a strong profit growth numbers. I've already seen that in the PAT as well as the net profit margins, the companies are performing very, very excellent in the term of excellence, almost double percent growth in their profit numbers. But now, because we have seen that the whole international as well as the domestic structure is little bit shambled. And that's the reason we are seeing that the automobile sectors, the whole automobile, including ancillaries as well as the motor bodies, are feels such a dull in their numbers in the last 3 to 4 quarters itself. So the things are very, very strongly upgrade. Once the things were resolved from the international market as well as the domestic too. So the Force Motors, we are a little bit bullish about it, but for the longer period, yes, you are very good. We are you holding in a very safe hands and just hold your position as of now. My suggestion is to hold your positions.
Okay, so hold your positions, Mr. Murli, is what our experts are suggesting. And Ravi, I'd also like to come to you since, just like Mr. Murli, there must be many other investors who are closely monitoring this counter. And so what would your suggestion to them be who is a fresh investor and, who wants to invest in this counter? So are these the correct levels to enter, or these are elevated levels? And what are those levels that you suggest that an investor should be investing in?
Yeah, ma'am, I can say that 52-week high is break, and then after that he buy, but stock is in after hitting the 52-week high, there is a correction. So I can say that strategy is workable, but not in a shorter period. So if you that you are clear that you want to invest at 2 years, so I can say that put the stop loss of 12,500 level. I know the 1,000 point level is stop loss, but the next target would be the in next 1 year. I can say that 16,000, 15,500 to 16,000 level. So fundamental is good, technically is good, but I can if you want to more invest in a more, then wait for the correction around 13,000 level to 12,800 level. So once hit the 52-week high, then buy only the 30% or 20% quantity, and after that, once it correct is 100 rupees or 200 rupees, then you partially make a strategy to invest. So that is the right strategy to invest. The lot of stocks, they are trading at 52-week low or 52-week high, but I can say that don't enter in a single parameter in one quantity. Better to divide in a partial, divide in a 3 or 4 way. So this strategy will workable in this scenario.
Okay. Thank you so much for that wise advice there, Ravi. And with that, we are joined by a caller from Mysuru. Hi, Pawan. Good evening.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, how can I help you today?
Ma'am, I wanted to know if PVR Inox is a good time to buy.
Okay.
I wanted to buy 200 shares and it's down 960. So is this a good time, or do you want me to hold on? My target would be 1,200 or something for a period of 6 to 1 year.
Okay.
So if this is a good time, or will that level be reached?
Understood. With that, this is one question that only Ravi can help us with. Ravi, it's currently trading at 964. So according to you, are these the correct levels for somebody who wants to invest in PVR Inox?
Ma'am, so I can ask one question from you. Do you expect any movie in this Friday?
Ravi, I think we'll stick to the question because, PVR Inox has been in the news, and, it's opening. We are getting some positive news on a day-to-day basis. Well, it's opening its, screens there. But, and even like you mentioned, people are looking out for PVR Inox to actually engage and having a good theatrical experience there. So in that perspective, I think PVR Inox is doing pretty well there. But that is not the correct wholesome picture, correct? Because people what's been served to them, and how the company has been really performing fundamentally or technically. These are two separate things. So talking about the technical aspect of it, currently it's trading at 964 and was also up in trade today over 1%. So what's your sense? Are these the correct levels for somebody who wants to invest in this counter?
Ma'am, I can give some history also. You give a lovely experience and your suggestion. So in September 24th, stock has at a high at 1748. And right now is 964. That means, sir, you go theater, enjoy the picture, but don't buy the stock.
Okay, okay. And Girish, quickly, if I would come to you as well, although he's looking for a time horizon of 6 months to 1 year outlook, but still PVR Inox, is it an attractive bet according to you?
Sorry, I'm completely agree that just enjoy your movies and don't buy it. Because the main reason is that the profit numbers, their profit is reducing heavily. And we have shown that the percentage of the margins was completely reducing. We are not talking about the expansion, that how the things are going to be grow, but it's completely based on that what the number says. And the number says that shows that it looks very, very badly in the terms of margin as well as the profit too. So the debt is increasing and the numbers are reducing. Apart from that, the low promoter holding, that would be the very tricky points for us as a fundamental terms when we talk about these type of counters. So my suggestion is to avoid it.
Okay, so just, our experts are saying you can enjoy your movies, but when it comes to investments, please stay cautious and stay away from this counter. With that, viewers, we'll have to slip into a short break, but keep sending in your queries on WhatsApp and call in. We'll be right back for Ask Profit. Stay tuned to NDTV Profit.
Imports become the exception rather than the norm, and increasingly we do almost last year, for example, of the contracts that we signed of record 2,09,000 crores, 81% was awarded to the domestic industry. Our intent is to manufacture in India, preferably with design also in India.
I am so elated to be on the same screen as the Defense Secretary, and I get a chance to talk about what he said.
In certain areas, like for example, artillery guns and armored vehicles, or in some categories of missiles like the BrahMos and the Akash, we've come of age.
What Defense Secretary Sir said is 100% true, and today private industry can really increase their involvement in R&D.
I am very proud to say that we make, in our categories that we have been supplying to our defense forces, some of the best platforms in the world.
Welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit on NDTV Profit, and I'm your host Himakshi Bahugna. And on the show we are joined by Girish Sodani and Ravi Singh, and they will be answering all your fundamental and technical doubts. They'll be clearing all of that, viewers. So you can just pick up your phones and call us right away. With that, we are joined by a caller from Andhra Pradesh. Hi, Sidhu. Good evening. Sidhu, are you there on the phone line? Yes.
My query is regarding Vishnu Prakash Arpaglia.
Okay.
I'm holding 200 shares, average price to 232 rupees.
Okay.
I think the company looks fundamentally good, but due to last 2 quarters, it posted very negative results. But in long-term perspective, I am bullish in this sector, water treatment. So I want to know the fundamental and technical view, and where should I add? These are the correct level to add more number of shares.
Okay, okay.
I can hold it 2 to 3 years now.
All right, all right. So, Girish, coming to you, VPRPL is the counter. He bought it at 232. Currently, it has come down to 162. So, firstly, is it advisable for him to stay invested if he wants to stay invested in like for 2 years? And is it the right time to accumulate more as well if you're positive on the counter?
So, for the fundamental terms, as we see that these counter have the very volatile balance sheets, as well as the profit numbers, the net profit was very volatile in each and every single quarters, because obviously the projects are there, but that would be not very sustainable projects lines. So for the longer period of time, I am not very much flexible. Once the things will be very much comfortable for at least 2 to 3 quarters itself, then we will suggest to just hold or just average the positions as of now. So my suggestion is to just avoid this particular counter and sell it. And for the propositions, if we talk about the construction business or the infrastructure, then my more better build-up was go with the Ashoka Buildcon or the IIB Infra. That would be much better because the quarter numbers, as we saw that the order books and the revenue generations was much better rather than Vishnu Prakash. So my suggestion is to just avoid this particular counter and just reshift if you want to continue with this same segment itself.
And Ravi, are you also holding the same view about the counter?
Ma'am, Girish has said very clearly, and I can say that also, don't attach any stocks. Don't trade with the attachment of any stock. I can say that trade in a trending way.
Okay, okay. With that, we are joined by a caller from Bengaluru. Hi, Devaraju. Good evening.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening. Please go ahead with your query.
Thank you, ma'am. NDTV Profit call, ma'am.
It's our pleasure, Devraju.
Ma'am, KPI Green Energy, 300 quantity,
Okay.
average price is 600 rupees.
Yeah.
In buying, ma'am, August 2024, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, profit loss, ma'am, 31,000, ma'am. Seller technical analysis, please, ma'am. 9 months old, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So, Ravi, KPI Green, we frequently get asked about this counter on our show, and he's looking, Mr. Devraju is looking for a 9-month horizon on the counter with incurring, he bought it in August last year, and now he's sitting on a loss of almost 32,000 there. So what would your suggestion to him be? Should he stay patient with it? Are you seeing any sort of positive momentum?
470 to 460 level, so I can say that put the same stop loss, and if you want to buy above, please strictly follow my levels, buy above 500. Once it cross at 500 or close at 500, then buy more, add more quantity for the target of 580 to 600 level. So it will take time, but I can say that the target will definitely achieve for 580 to 600 level.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Now we are joined by a caller from Chennai. Hi, Krishnamurthy. Good evening. Okay, I think we've lost the connection there, but we have his query. He holds 18 shares of AIA Engineering at 4,401 rupee. He's looking for a short-term outlook on the counter. Currently, the stock has fallen to 3,278 and he is sitting on a loss of over 20,000 is what we can see. So, Ravi, without wasting much time, coming to you, what are the charts suggesting and what's your outlook on AIA Engineering for short term?
Yeah, ma'am. Chart is bearish and a lot longer term moving average are also in negative zone. So I can say that take exit from the current level because stock is next target is 2800 level. So better you take exit, buy another stocks. Lot of stocks we have discussed is Coal India or Power Grid or Tata Power. So you can switch their position.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for that. Now we are joined by a caller, Fernando from Mumbai. Hi, Fernando. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, how can I help you today?
I wanted to know if I can purchase Lakshmi Dental at this rate for a long term.
Okay. And why are you looking to invest in this counter, if I may ask? I'm just curious.
No, I have other shares, but I thought this was a place where it might grow because it is a dental company, and I don't know if there are other listings, but
Have you studied about this counter?
No, this counter I have not studied.
Okay, okay. So any friendly recommendations, or probably then you are planning to invest in it, or just you saw it and you find it attractive?
No. I have other shares, but I don't have something in this area like power sector. I have, then I have.
Okay, so in the dental space category.
Yeah, and for the long term, dental space category, right?
Okay, okay. So Girish, Fernando wants to invest in Lakshmi Dental. Currently, it's trading at 428. Was also up in trade today, nearly 4%. So, are you seeing it as a positive bet for long term?
Currently, I'm not looking out for the very positive terms. The reason behind is the quarter numbers. I'm not very much familiar with the quarter numbers. The incomes as well as the PAT net profits are not very much improvised. And for this particular counter, I'm seeing that if you want to invest, at least watch for next 2 quarters. Let's see their numbers, how the things are going to be grow. And then I think my suggestion is to just invest. And the another reason is the promoter holding. I've already told that each and every investor who want to invest in the any of the counter for at least 1.5 year, 2 year time. So just check it out the promoter holding, how the things are going to be increase and the decrease in the quarter on quarter basis. So this is a very negative point for us as of now. So my suggestion is to avoid this counter.
Okay, so that's a big avoid on Lakshmi Dental by our experts there, and a very good advice also by Girish that for somebody who wants to invest in any counter whatsoever for long term, you should always keep your eye on the promoter holdings as well. So that's a very great advice coming in, and with that we are joined by a caller from Hyderabad. Hi Raj, good evening.
Yeah, hello, good evening Bahuguna, this is Raj here.
Yeah.
My query is regarding Enviro Infra Engineering. I want fundamental analysis and short-term perspective on that.
Okay, okay.
I have around 2,600 shares at average price of 228.
Okay.
It's been like 5 months I'm holding that.
Yeah, understood. Today itself the counter was up in trade today over 11%, nearly 12%. Yeah. If you want to invest at this particular time, let me just go across to Ravi for that. Ravi, are these the elevated levels for somebody, who wants to invest in this counter since the stock rallied a lot today?
Yeah, ma'am, we may see some profit booking, but I can say that trend is your friend. Stock is in a very strong hand with the higher volume. So I can expect the target is around 250 to 255 level. So rally will going on.
Okay, so the rally will keep going on. And Girish, I'd also like to take your fundamental outlook on Enviro Infra. The order book, if we look at the order book, it's pretty strong. And if we talk about the valuations as well. So what's your holistic view on Enviro Infra for somebody who wants to stay invested in this counter for long term?
Yes, I am completely agree that this counter is completely belongs for the next 1 year, 2 years time frame, because this counters required a long term propositions. Obviously, the water treatments, how the constructions are there. So these things takes a little bit time for the order books and the completion of that particular order books. So the profit margins, PAT and interest depreciations, everything are favorable in the term means of overall structure. So I am completely bullish on this particular count.
Okay, so completely bullish on Enviro Infra, and we have a caller joining us from Hyderabad now. Hi Venkat, good evening. Venkat, are you there on the phone line?
Hi. Yeah, hi.
Yes. Please go ahead with your
Yeah,
query.
thank you for taking my call. Yeah.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah, I have Sula Vineyards shares 128 quantity
Okay.
at average price of 559 rupees, almost 46% loss. So I'm confused. Should I need to continue for the long term as the worst was already happened?
Yeah.
Though I have some money, I'm not ready to average.
Yeah.
So need your suggestion.
Okay. And if at all our, our experts are positive on the counter, are you planning to hold this for long term?
Yeah, actually it's been 1.5 years, I think, I have taken this stock. At some point, I'm in 20% profit, but I did not book good profit. Eventually, it was
it went down. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
and this
Girish,
is the most allocated stock.
Absolutely.
Almost
10%
I have allocated in my portfolio on it. It was dragging my portfolio to negative every time.
Yeah. Girish, coming to you on this, he bought it at 559 and rightly so, the stock, when we look at its performance, it has been pretty volatile. Currently, it has dropped down to 299 and in which Mr. Venkat has also made some losses there for himself after even when the counter went up and he was making some profits there, but he didn't book his profits at that particular time, and now he's making losses since the stock has fallen. So what would your advice to Mr. Venkat be when it comes to Sula Vineyard?
If we talk about the books, obviously it's too volatile that because the numbers we already saw that the quarter-on-quarter basis are too strict in the term of profit margins. But now, as we saw and we already visited, we already in our discussions, and the things are going to be improvised in the Sula Vineyard. And we are just looking out for the next at least 3 to 4 quarters. The company has been improvised in the profit margins also. So my suggestion is, because the numbers are still going, the sectors are going on. Because we are talking about the winery sectors as well as the hospitality sector, and they are just improvising as well as equipping the new properties also. So for that, my suggestion is to hold your position as of now. But again, the stop loss has to be maintained. The technical analyst will give you a better stop loss. But my suggestion is to hold your position for the stop loss of at least 235 to 240 levels for the longer period of time.
Okay, so 235 to 240 is what Girish is suggesting for a stop loss there. But, getting a clarity over it, Ravi, currently when it has gotten down to 299 levels, are you seeing any sort of positive momentum in the future, or it's going, or what are the charts suggesting in particular?
Ma'am, I can say that very simple strategy. If you are stuck, then you have to take a single side decision. So I can say that if you want to stay invested, then your stop loss is long. But my suggestion is just take exit. Radico Khaitan is the new friend. Buy at Radico Khaitan at current market price. They have enough potential to give 15 to 18% return in 1 year. So why we are stuck in a Sula mine? So just take exit.
Okay, so Ravi suggesting to exit from Sula Vineyards and instead invest in Radico Khaitan. Okay, so with that, we are joined by a caller from Bengaluru. Hi, Krishnan. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. I just want to ask about Reliance Industries. Okay, technicals. Okay, this is a lot of fluctuation is there currently, and I have 412 shares, and I bought it.
I think
1,270. I am sitting a profit of 74,000 rupees.
Yeah.
So further, what is the technicals and whether it will cross somewhere around 1600 something like that in the near future? I can hold for 2 years, or further any investment is possible in this.
Okay, so you can hold the counter for 2 years, but you're still looking for a technical view on it, so that okay, interesting. Ravi, do you see any sort of positive, movement in this on the charts, so that it can cross the 1600 mark is like Mr. Krishnan is anticipating. Are you seeing that sort of movement on the charts in the near term?
Yeah, ma'am. Definitely, it will take time in next 2 to 3 months, but I can say that definitely it will achieve 1600 level. But you are stick at 1370 or 1390 level put at as your stop loss. But I can say that if you are a long term investor, then you invest still wait for the some time.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for that. And Girish, I'd also like to come to you talking about the fundamentals of RIL. Although fundamentally it's a strong company, but still, for somebody who wants to invest, who hasn't invested and they are starting their investment journey. So what would your advice to them be? Are these, the levels to enter probably, or they should be waiting for some time?
For the longer period, yes, Reliance Industries is currently in a very strong valuations. And we talk about if he got the opportunity of around the 1400 levels for the longer period of time, at least 2 to 3 years time. Because my suggestion is to when you talk about the Reliance or L&T, these type of giants, so your vision is at least 2 to 3 years time. So that will be give you a very excellent return also in the terms of fundamental as well as the technical both. So for the alliance, the levels was strong and the fundamentals with the books was very strong in the terms of how the things are going to be in the different verticals itself. So my suggestion is hold your positions.
Okay, so hold your positions and our experts are positive on the counter. With that, we are joined by Mr. Rao on the phone line from Vijayawada. Hi, Mr. Rao. Good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Yes, how can I help you?
I am Koteswar Rao from Vijayawada.
Yes.
Okay, I want just one query. I want to purchase HG Infra 100 shares at present price. Can I go ahead?
Okay.
HG Infra, I want to purchase 100 shares.
Okay, so you want to purchase, and are you also holding some?
Only 10 I am holding at 1020.
Okay.
1020 rupees.
Understood. And it's a recent purchase, I believe.
Yes, please.
Yes?
Recent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you, Mr. Rao, I would just ask you whether you are a long-term investor or a short-term investor?
For a period of 2 years, madam.
2 years. Understood.
Yeah.
So, Girish, coming to you, Mr. Rao currently holds 10 shares of HG Infra and he bought it at 1020. And he's asking whether he can add 100 more at these levels. Currently, it's trading at 1037. And if we talk about today's performance, so it was up in trade today over 2% as well. So, what's your outlook on HG Infra Engineering?
So, yes, the outlook was strong. The numbers are doing very good. The companies are performing as the order books was going to be excellent. The defense orders as well as the road and infrastructure orders, they are looking very excellent. For the longer period, yes, the companies are looks too good. But for the adding the stock as of now, my suggestion is to just again the same strategies we are using with each and every analysis or each and every investments. The start your investments with the partial installments that would be around 30 to 40%. What as you already informed, and rather than just reduce your add-ons with the level of 920 to 950 levels also once the market will be little bit volatile.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for that, Girish. Now we are joined by a caller from Mumbai. Hi, Garvit. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, ma'am.
Yes, how can I help you today on the show?
Ma'am, I actually had a query regarding Tata Motors. I had bought 40 shares at the price of 1242.
Yeah.
Sorry, 704. Sorry, my bad.
Okay. 704.
I had bought 704.61 and I'm currently with loss of 1242 rupees.
Yeah.
So should I hold for a short-term perspective or should I sell it?
Okay, and when did you buy these shares, Garvit?
Around 2 to 3 months back.
Around 2 to 3 months. And how long are you planning to hold this?
Around 3 to 4 months more.
Okay, okay. Understood. So, Ravi, since Garvit bought Tata Motors shares 3-4 months back, and currently, he is making some losses there. So, so what would your advice be to him? Because he bought it at 704. Currently, it has dropped down to 674. Are you seeing any sort of uptick in the counter in the near 3 to 4 months so that it can surpass the 704 levels?
Ma'am, first I congratulate you because this is the industry only single 1 hour show. I think industry is single show. So the lot of investors, they are messaging me. So I'll just take, I can't take the name, but I can say that thank you very much from all the investor side. If you talk about a stock, then I can say that, ma'am, if you are want a 3 month to 4 month prospects, then I can say that take exit, sir. It doesn't matter, is 1200 rupees you buy the Coal India, Power Grid or Tata Motor. They have enough potential to go upside around 5 to 8% in next 3 to 4 weeks. And if you talk about a 3 to 4 month, that means is 10% return. But in Tata Motors, first it will achieve 650 to 630 level. So I think trend are negative. Trend is negative. So take exit from the current level and buy whatever the stocks I'll suggest it.
Okay, so you can exit from Tata Motors and instead you can invest in Coal India is what Ravi is suggesting. And just a quick, reminder for our viewers, the numbers that are there on our screens, you have to just call on those numbers and not our guests directly. So please keep that in mind. And with that, we are joined by Sumit on the phone line from Qatar. So first international caller again on the show today. Hi Sumit, good evening. How can I help you today?
Good evening. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, it's our pleasure. Please go ahead with your query.
I have UltraTech Cement 13 share at the rate of 11,663.
Understood.
So I just need a 3 month view.
Okay, so 3 months view on the counter. Ravi, again, UltraTech Cement. What are the charts suggesting, since there are a lot of positive commentary on this particular counter?
Yes, ma'am. Clearly, there is a very strong in moving average and very strong in RSI. Chart is also suggesting uptrend till 12,200 level. So you can stay invested in this stock, but I can suggest also that there is one stock is Ambuja Cement. Right now is in cement counter. This is the another stocks give the fresh breakout. So I can say that if you want to invest another stock, then Ambuja Cement is a good choice. But still, the target is 12,200 level.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And Girish, I'd also like to take your view on this particular counter, UltraTech Cement, and in the cement space in particular. So firstly, what's your outlook, like a holistic, wholesome outlook on this space entirely? And when we talk about individual counters like an UltraTech Cement or an Ambuja Cement, so what do you have to say on that?
So I'm completely bullish on the whole infrastructure space, basically. Not we're talking about the cement space, but obviously the cement is the subsidy, or we can say that it's the ancillaries of whole infra. So I'm completely bullish on that particular counter, because we saw that the numbers as we investors will be exclusively by 30 to 35% year on year basis. So this is a very strong space and still invested for the next 3 to 4 years time frame. So UltraTech, again, the UltraTech is my strong pick. Apart from the UltraTech, I'm more bullish on the aggressive industry in the cement space. That is 2780. That would be the level. And if any of the investor have to hold their grassins, so just hold your positions and just invested in that particular counter.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. And I'm afraid that we are running short of time on the show today. But thank you so much, Girish and Ravi, for patiently answering all our viewers' queries. It's always a pleasure having you both on the show. And viewers, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Ask Profit. But we are live both in the morning as well as in the evening. So feel free to WhatsApp us or call us. We'll cater to all your stock-related queries. And Now I am joined by Sanjana Chauhan, who will take over from here with Profit 360. Hi Sanjana, so what do you have on Profit 360 for our viewers today?
Thanks Himakshi. We're bringing news to everybody on a topic that has been on the world's minds with regards to the Israel-Iran conflict. So a quick check of how the global markets are doing today. The US markets opening positive, European markets also in a rally, but more on this and a lot of other news on the other side of this very short break.
Source is an ED seeking explanation on Yuvraj Singh, Harbhajan Singh on why they are endorsing such platforms which are banned by Government of India, and the mule account and Benami transaction, the kind of promotional payout being given to some of the media houses, the ad rates are between 50 crore to 100 crore.
What happens in reality is that under the garb of skill-based game, they end up promoting gambling only.
27,000 crore is what the tax evasion, the top popular betting apps are actually evading. Between January and March alone, they have seen 1.6 billion of traction.
Imports become the exception rather than the norm, and increasingly we do almost last year, for example, of the contracts that we signed of record 2,09,000 crores, 81% was awarded to the domestic industry. Our intent is to manufacture in India, preferably with design also in India.
I am so elated to be on the same screen as the Defense Secretary, and I get a chance to talk about what he said.
In certain areas, like for example, artillery guns and armored vehicles, or in some categories of missiles like the BrahMos and the Akash, we've come of age.
What Defense Secretary Sir said is 100% true, and today private industry can really increase their involvement in R&D.
I am very proud to say that we make in our categories that we have been supplying to our defense forces.
US President Donald Trump says both Israel and Iran have violated the ceasefire, expressing that he is really unhappy with Israel. He calls on Israel to stop dropping bombs. This as fresh explosions have been reported near Babolsar, where air defenses have been triggered. Benchmarks end higher but lag behind small and mid-cap indices in India, with the Nifty closing nearly 300 points below its intraday high and the Sensex slipping 1,000 points from the top. All sectoral indices finish in the green except media, defense, oil and gas. Defying the odds to achieve record revenue and playing a key role in Operation Sindoor with their drones, the Adani Group is set to forge new paths. Chairman Gautam Adani announces an annual capex of $15 to $20 billion over the next 5 years. DGCA finds serious safety lapses in aviation, including repeated aircraft defects, poor maintenance, unfit ground equipment and outdated simulator software. The DGCA instructs operators to take corrective action, adding that inspections will continue across the aviation sector. Vodafone Idea clarifies that it has not received any communication from the government regarding relief on its 84,000 crore AGR dues, despite reports suggesting otherwise. The company stated it will disclose any developments if and when they occur. Novo Nordisk launches the first and only weight management medication in India, Wegovy, an injectable semaglutide. It will be available in 5 dosing strengths and pricing starts from 17,300 rupees. Good evening, you're watching Profit 360 on NDTV Profit. I'm Sanjana, and for the next 30 minutes, we're going to have an action-packed bulletin of the latest in markets, national and international news. So let's take a look at how the markets fared today. Indian markets ended higher, with the Nifty ending above 25,000 and the Sensex settling near 82,000 levels. However, the benchmark indices gave up most of their sharp intraday gains as investors booked profits in lieu of caution around geopolitical uncertainties. Nifty Mid-Cap 150 and Small Cap 250 rose for the third straight day, with JM Financial and Usha Martin surging over 7% in the Small Cap 250. Most sectors rose except media, defense and oil and gas. Nifty Pharma, however, marked its third consecutive gain, while oil and gas and media ended two-day winning streaks. And now a look at global markets. The US markets are seeing broad gains, with the S&P 500 rising nearly 1%, the Dow Jones up by 0.9% and the Nasdaq advancing over 1% as investors are reacting positively to easing Middle East tensions. European markets have rallied sharply, with major indices like the Stock 600 up 1.4%, Germany's DAX gaining nearly 2% and the UK's FTSE 100 and France's CAC 40 also posting solid gains as hopes for a Middle East ceasefire boosted investor sentiment and have also lifted travel and leisure stocks while sending oil and gold prices lower. In Asia, markets have also advanced following the ceasefire news. But despite this reluctant ceasefire, an uneasy calm prevailed only for a short while between Israel and Iran, as explosions have been heard in the northern city of Babolsar, where air defenses have been triggered. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump launched a sharp rebuke of Israel's conduct during